Hello and welcome to this smooth tutorial for Resolume Wire. In this video we'll take a closer look at the little utility node that lets your values glide from A to B. Let's get going. The smooth node does exactly what it says on the tin. It smooths out abrupt changes by gradually transitioning from its current output to whatever value sits on the input. When the input changes, smooth doesn't jump straight to it. Instead, it eases towards the new value over time, giving you a natural, organic motion. What makes the smooth node really versatile is the wide range of types that it can handle. Hovering over the inlet of the node, we can see that it takes floats, colors, textures and boxes. Let's quickly walk through the parameters. The first input is your target, the value that the smooth is chasing. The duration parameter controls how fast it gets there and is expressed in seconds. A duration of 1 means it takes roughly a second to reach the target. A duration of 5 makes the transition slow and lazy, while a duration of 0.1 will make it very snappy. Setting the duration to 0 will bypass the smoothing. The default parameter is the value smooth starts at. Additionally, it is the value it jumps to when reset is triggered. Alright, with that out of the way, let's look at some practical examples. We'll start out with the most common type that you will be smoothing, floats. For this example I will use a float 2 type, but all variants work the same. Here I have a circle shape going into a transform node. I am controlling the position with these two float in nodes. When I change the values, the shape snaps to the new position, instantly with no interpolation. Let's smooth this out by inserting a smooth node between the float 2 and the transform. Now when I change the values, the shape glides over to its new position. Setting the duration to 0.2 will make it very snappy. Setting it to a higher value, like 2, will give us a slow, lazy glide. This is the bread and butter of the smooth node, turning hard, snappy values into soft, eased motion. A common use case is taking out the output of the random node, which spits out a brand new value every time it's triggered, and smoothing it. Without smooth, the position teleports. With smooth, the shape glides from one random position to the next. The smooth node also works with the color type. Here I am sending a random color into the color input of the shape render. When I trigger the random node, the shape instantly takes over a new color. Now let's drop a smooth node into the chain. Now when I trigger a new color, the shape eases from its current color to the new one through a clean transition. Setting the duration higher gives you longer transitions, which can give your patches a really nice loungy feel. Here I'm using the smooth node in conjunction with a linear collection of colors to create a smooth transition between different gradients. Let's continue with textures. Texture support on the smooth node was added in Resolume 7.27. This opens up some really nice possibilities. When you feed a texture into the smooth, it will blend between the current and the target frame over the duration. Let me show you. Here I have a ring moving around randomly. Adding a smooth node after the render gives a nice trail. By modifying the duration, I can set the length of the trail. Combining the regular render and the smooth texture creates a nice blend. In this next example, I have two textures going into a switch node, which lets me jump between them. Without smooth, switching cuts the image immediately. With smooth, we get a nice little transition. This technique can also be used to make creative effects. Here I am using the smooth node to create sort of a delay that resets each beat. And last but not least, let's have a look at the Box 2D type. Support for the Box 2D type was added in Resolume 7.26. A Box 2D is a rectangular region defined by a position and a size. They are generally used to find the bounding box around a mesh, but they can also be used to set the UV coordinates of rectangles. In this example, I have made a repeat style effect, but smoothed. And this technique can be easily extended to create animated reveals or any kind of moving frame. Before signing off, I want to share a couple of tricks and tips with you that you can use while working with the smooth node. If you end up exposing the duration parameter of the smooth node, you should know that you can set the unit of the parameter to seconds in the node panel over here. This is purely a visual cue for the users of your patch that the parameter is in seconds, which will help the user understand the range when operating the patch in Arena or Avenue. The smooth node can be very interesting in more procedural patches when handed different duration times. Here I'm feeding the smooth durations of 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 seconds, creating an uneven but pleasing transition between many colors. A simple ping-pong effect between 2 points can be created by smoothing a square wave oscillator and multiplying the result with the float 2 position, just like this. I've already shown you smooth on the texture 2D RGBA type, but more advanced users might like to know that the texture 2D channel type is also supported. This means you can smooth per channel, like I'm doing in this patch, creating ghostly, colorful trails. And that wraps it up for our deep dive into the smooth node. As always, feel free to drop your questions in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.